Hi, my name is Kirsten Shepard, and I'm here to talk to you about how to pay for study abroad. One of the first things I hear people say when they tell me they can't study abroad is that the cost is too much. On first glance, this would appear to be the case, but as you look what you get from the program and all of the financial aid available, you can see that the cost is not only more affordable, but you're also getting more than what you pay for. I'm going to talk about 5 funding options for you to consider today: federal and private loans, study abroad scholarships and grants, crowdsourcing, study abroad payment plans, and working and saving your money. So let's start with federal and private student loans. If you're an American student who already uses federal loans to pay for your education and you meet the appropriate requirements, you might be able to use some of this money to help you cover the cost of your travel study program, your semester, summer, or year abroad. Even if you're not already using federal or private student loans, this is possible. The first step, of course, is to fill out your FAFSA as early as possible, so your eligibility for aid can be determined. The next step is to speak to the financial aid office. If we participate in financial aid programs, and we do, our financial aid office should be able to help you figure out what aid you may be able to use and guide you through the process. As a quick tip, if you are applying for a travel study program, the program costs and inclusions are on the travel study program page. Bring this information with you when you talk to the financial aid office. For semester, year, or summer students, you want to work with me in the Center for International Education on a budget sheet that you will bring to the financial aid office. Study abroad scholarships. There is financial aid out there for you. Maryville College has travel study, Ragsdale, Global Plus, Tuck scholarships that are available for you to apply for study abroad. And generally what you'll get is somewhere between $0 and $2,000 to $3,000. Okay, some of our awards are need-based, some of them are merit-based. And for example, travel study, we award approximately 65% of students get some sort of aid. For semester abroad programs, 100% of students have gotten aid the last few years, so it's worth applying for scholarships. As you'll see on this slide, there are national scholarships, there are scholarships specific to region, there are diversity-focused scholarships, there are study abroad search engines and websites and databases, and a lot of these or similar scholarships are linked through on our study abroad website. So if you go to this first link up here, study abroad scholarships page for Maryville College, you'll get a link both to Maryville College scholarships and external aid. Study abroad payment plans. Even if you've gotten some money together to pay for your semester or year or travel study program, are you ready to pay for the full experience at once? Not always. So some programs may offer payment plans, allowing you to pay for your experience in several installments rather than upfront. This might be a valuable option for you depending on your preferences and financial situation. So the first thing you want to do is check to see if your program offers one. And what this usually does is allows you to make several payments in a more manageable size. Another trick for longer term programs is that STA Travel is a student travel agency that has an airfare deposit program. So it allows you to book a ticket at a great rate, even if you don't have all the money to pay for it up front. Okay, so you want to check with each program that you're planning to apply for and find out what payment plan options there are. For example, for travel study programs, from the point that you apply, you can start making payments monthly. You can make payments as soon as you get your paycheck, or you can pay in 2 different installments. Working and saving your money. Finally, when all is said and done, paying for study abroad often takes some of your own cash. If you want to study abroad in the future, making sure that you have money set aside is a great way to do that without incurring debt. Whether that means you take a part-time job, have a bake sale, use a 529 college savings plan you might have access to, making sure that you have the money to study abroad is a solid, responsible way to pursue your dream of international study. So what does that look like? It could be a work-study job, You want to think about what is the maximum amount you can earn, both what have you been given and then how much of a budget is the department you work for been allocated. Just to give you an example, the Center for International Education has a budget of $500. So maybe your work study allocation is $1,500 for the semester or the year. You're not going to be able to earn all that money with a job working at the Center for International Education. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to how likely it is that you will earn that much money and how much of that can you put away. Off-campus jobs are often an option to earn a little bit more money. How much does it pay? How many hours a week will you work? You're going to have to figure out the answers to these questions to figure out how much money you can save in the amount of time that you have available. I find that students who are studying abroad often choose to do holiday jobs. I hear from a lot of students, I don't want to work while I'm studying, or my parents don't want me to work while I'm studying. So then your options are to try and get in as much work for as much money as you can in shorter amount of time. And so holiday periods like Christmas time is a window of time where there are usually jobs available and you can do a lot of hours. Summer jobs, the same thing, but you want to think about what that summer job is for. If you have a job that's for experience, you might be willing to take a lower pay. If the job is to save up money for an experience, you're going to want to pay closer attention to how many hours you can get at that job, what's the pay rate for that job, and how much will you be able to save. The biggest tip I hear from students is save off the top. So plan for how much money you want to and need to earn from your summer job, part-time job, etc., and put it away at the beginning. Have it come off your paycheck or have it automatically pulled out of your account pretty immediately to save that. Otherwise, it just disappears and dwindles away. The last tip I want to give you is related to the sample I have on this screen. So starting early. You really need to start early when you think about planning for study abroad. Most of the students that I've talked to that are like, I can't study abroad, it's because they waited too long to make the decision to do it. So for example, if the travel study program is $4,000 and you're just now deciding when program deadlines are coming up, then you're going to have less money to earn that money. Right? So if you start saving October 1st when you apply, so most travel study programs, the deadline is October 1st, and all payments need to be made by February 1st. So if you start then, you really only have 4 months, which is about $1,000 a month, and that's a lot of money for a student. But if you start in January for the following year, so if you started this January so that you could travel next year, that breaks down to $300 a month and gives you those holiday periods in summer and winter break to be able to try and earn more money. We have a really big break this semester over winter break, so there's time to earn money. Crowdfunding platforms for raising money. When choosing a crowdfunding platform, you want to consider the process that you're going to receive the funds. So some platforms allow you to get 100% of proceeds. Some of them take a cut of that. And so I've got some samples here. If you do a quick Google search, you'll be able to find these crowdsourcing platforms really easy. Fund My Travel, GoFundMe are very popular study abroad crowdsourcing platforms and can help you raise extra money for additional expenses while you are abroad. Here's a tip. When crowdsourcing, one, you want to be clear about what your goals are. You want to tell your story. Why is this experience important to you? What are you going to gain from it? Also think about what you will give back. So will you send everybody who donates a postcard from abroad? Will you bring them back a pen or something like that? It doesn't have to have monetary value, but what is it that you're going to give back? If it might be that you promise to tell them about your program when you come back. So think about that. Definitely look at samples. So there are lots of searches you can do out there to see how other study abroad students have been more effective at this. Mix and match. With all these options for funding your study abroad, how do you know which one's right for you? Luckily, you're not limited to just one. And in fact, That's my biggest piece of advice. Do not count on just one way to fund your study abroad program. You might find that you have to mix and match several options for funding your study abroad to make it feasible for you. Using some federal student loan money combined with scholarship money, savings, or a private loan, or some combination might be the most effective strategy for your financial situation and your personal priorities. Whether you're focusing on finding the easiest and most straightforward option, whether you're trying to figure out what option can be your backup plan if you don't earn enough money and you still want this experience, or if you're trying to eliminate as much debt as possible, then the right option might be there for you. Don't be afraid to invest in your study abroad. Remember that this is your education and it makes you employable. Companies will be ready to hire you after graduation. Studying abroad is going to set you apart from your peers. It's going to give you talking points for interviews. It may help you secure a job or an internship after graduation. And so don't be afraid to invest a little money upfront. This is an investment. You're guaranteed to gain more from studying abroad than you ever spend on it. Hopefully this is helpful. Have a great day and reach out to the Study Abroad office, studyabroad@maryvillecollege.edu if you have questions. Thank you.